Okay, let's just dive straight into this explainer. Picture this. It's midnight. You've got a massive research paper due like tomorrow, and you're just staring at this absolute mountain of dense PDFs, practically begging your brain to absorb the words. Look, if you're a student right now trying to balance classes, endless research, and maybe actually having a social life, you already know ChatGPT was a total game changer. But honestly, that was just the appetizer. Today, we're going way, way beyond basic chatbots. We're uncovering some incredibly specialized AI tools that can literally revolutionize how you study and get your work done.
I want you to think about this feeling for a second. Have you ever stumbled onto a tool or a shortcut so wildly useful that it honestly felt like a well-kept secret? Like you somehow unlocked a cheat code for real life? Well, that is exactly what we're unpacking right now. These are the hidden gems that are flying completely under the radar for most students, even while top-tier researchers and professionals are actively using them to totally crush their workloads. These tools fundamentally change your entire workflow. And honestly, once you start using them, they almost feel illegal to know because of how many brutal hours of academic grinding they instantly erase.
So, here's our agenda for today, mapping out the exact master study workflow we're going to build. We'll start with the ultimate study secret, then move into supercharging your research phase, mastering complex concepts quickly, and acing your academic presentations. After that, we'll put it all together in the master study workflow, and finally, look at the future of learning. Let's get to it.
Section 2, Supercharging your research phase. Gathering intelligence. This is exactly where every great assignment begins. Think about the old, agonizing way we used to research for a paper. You'd search a query, open like 15 different tabs, scroll past a million ads, and try to manually piece together an answer, while losing track of which quote came from where. Total nightmare, right? Well, the new reality is a smarter search engine called Perplexity AI. Imagine typing impact of microplastics on marine biology, and instead of 10 random blogs, you get this beautifully synthesized paragraph that just directly answers your question. And the best part? It has literal footnotes linking straight back to peer-reviewed journals. It completely handles the hunting and gathering for you, making it simply one of the fastest ways to research complex topics online.
Next up in our research phase is Claude, what I like to call the long-form analyst. So you use Perplexity to hunt down your initial facts, right? But Claude is the heavy hitter you bring in when you need to deeply understand incredibly dense material. See, standard AI chatbots usually have a pretty short memory. They kind of forget what you were talking about 3 pages ago. Not Claude. It has a massive context window. That means it remembers and analyzes huge documents without losing the plot, which is an absolute superpower for academic reading.
Claude's real magic is how it handles volume. When you're staring down a massive 50-page legal case study or some highly technical scientific journal, you don't just blindly read anymore. You drop it straight into your workflow with Claude. You can literally ask it, hey, extract the 3 main arguments here and point out any contradictions in the methodology. Boom! It does that deep, long-form analysis in seconds. It does the heavy analytical lifting so you can instantly grasp the core concepts and jump right into the actual writing process.
Moving right along to Section 3, Mastering Complex Concepts Quickly, Digesting and Understanding.
So you've gathered your research. You've analyzed the big texts. Now you actually have to learn the stuff. Enter NotebookLM. This is truly Google's ultimate study powerhouse. Now you know the biggest issue with general AI, right? Hallucinations. When the AI just confidently makes up fake facts. NotebookLM totally solves this because it operates as a closed-loop system. You upload your specific course syllabus, your textbooks, your actual lecture notes, and from then on, it becomes this highly intelligent study brain that only ever answers questions based on the exact documents you provided. Zero hallucinations. Just pure curriculum-aligned studying.
The outputs here are just incredible for building out your study routine. NotebookLM instantly generates automated summaries and customized study guides tailored to your exact class. You can even run interactive Q&A sessions to literally quiz yourself before an exam. But my absolute favorite feature? The audio overview. NotebookLM can literally turn your dry lecture notes into an engaging podcast-style discussion. No, really, 2 AI hosts will banter about your boring economics notes with perfectly natural pacing as if it's a top-tier Spotify show. If you're an auditory learner, listening to your notes like a podcast while walking to class, absolute game changer.
But hey, what if you're a visual learner? Sometimes plain text and audio just don't cut it. That brings us to Napkin AI. This is a remarkably slick tool that converts plain text right into visual diagrams and graphics. Let's say you're trying to memorize the Krebs cycle or map out this crazy complex historical timeline for an exam. Instead of sketching it out by hand, you just paste the textbook paragraph into Napkin AI, and it instantly builds a clean, structured flowchart.
It visually simplifies dense information right on the spot, perfectly tailored so it just makes sense at a single glance.
All right, Section 4, acing your academic presentations, the final output. Because eventually, you actually have to show what you know. Okay, we all know Canva for standard graphic design. But let's talk about the dreaded 2 a.m. midnight deadline panic. Your presentation is due at 8 a.m. and you have exactly 0 visuals. Look, Canva isn't just manual drag-and-drop formatting anymore. It is packed with powerful AI capabilities built right into its Magic Studio. You can generate completely custom images just from text prompts, create automated presentations, and design amazing layouts in literal minutes. You just type what you need and the AI handles the heavy lifting, saving you those crucial hours when you're racing the clock. Now, maximizing efficiency for your final output is the name of the game, and that is exactly where Gamma steps in to generate polished presentations automatically. Think about the workflow here. You literally just take your essay or that outline you built with Claude and paste it straight into Gamma. In like 20 seconds, Gamma analyzes the text, picks a theme, lays out the typography, finds relevant images, and formats the entire slide deck automatically. You completely skip that exhausting process of tweaking fonts and aligning text boxes. You just get a professional deck almost instantly. And lastly, what if your assignment requires some kind of multimedia element? ElevenLabs is this amazing tool that transforms text into incredibly natural-sounding speech. Why would a student even need this? Well, whether you're submitting a video essay, narrating a massive PowerPoint for an online class, or even practicing pronunciation for a foreign language course, ElevenLabs gives you a studio-quality voice instantly. No expensive mic needed, no trying to find a quiet dorm room, and no recording dozens of awkward takes of your own voice. You just type, and it speaks flawlessly. Which brings us to Section 5, the Master Study Workflow, putting it all together.
Now, imagine the absolute academic powerhouse you become when you link all these isolated tools into a single, cohesive workflow. Notice how beautifully this flows? You aren't just using AI to cheat or take lazy shortcuts. You are building an incredibly efficient assembly line for knowledge. Step 1. Use Perplexity to hunt down your initial research and get those sourced answers fast. Step 2. Upload those findings into NotebookLM to lock in the facts and generate your audio study guides. Step 3. Bring in Claude to analyze the really big documents and extract your core arguments. And Step 4. Finalize everything using Gamma and Canva to instantly build your slides, maybe tossing in ElevenLabs for a crisp voiceover. What once took days of grinding, repetitive busywork is now just done, so much faster and with way higher quality.
Finally, Section 6, the future of learning, the real advantage. Let's talk about what this massive technological shift actually means for you as a student today. In academia, there's this brutal 80-20 rule of friction. Usually, students burn 80% of their energy on repetitive, manual tasks, finding a reliable source, formatting citations, building flashcards, tweaking margins. That leaves only 20% of your brain power for actual critical thinking. Well, these tools flip that ratio entirely. The biggest advantage here isn't just saving time. It's eliminating the friction so you can focus on true creativity, deep learning, and actual decision-making. When AI handles the exhausting busy work, you finally have the mental energy to explore complex ideas and write brilliant theses. The people who learn to effectively command these tools today, they're going to have a massive, undeniable advantage tomorrow.
Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. If AI effectively handles all the repetitive, manual tasks of your academic life, what are you going to create with your newfound free time and mental energy? Are you going to dive deeper into a subject you're genuinely passionate about, start a complex new project, or hey, maybe just get some actual sleep? Think big here. The era of grinding through academic busywork is officially over. These tools are here, they are completely transforming the landscape, and they are waiting for you. The only question left is, what will you build with them? Dive in and start working smarter.